Hi, my little Samoogies. This is Ichiban, the one and only. And today I found some interesting pictures of me growing up as a kid. Found these when I was making a few phone calls, looking for work out there, and I got done doing them a while ago. Got a job interview Thursday, so that's pretty good. So found these photos, and I was like, "Damn, that was a long time ago." I was probably, young lad, young gamer back in the day. I'm 28 now, and I'm looking back, I was like, damn, that's a long, long time ago. It was like, what, 12, 13, 15 years ago? Probably. So, I dragged these pictures up, and I was like, damn, I remember those days. I think my mom found these, and I was like, holy crap, do you want these? Like, yeah, I'll take them. Um, this these are mostly school pictures, but they still have some kind of youth nostalgia to them back in my past. I did. It's like, this right here was me in probably like the third grade. I was like probably either about 9. I was probably 9 here. Yeah. And this one wasn't. I'm pretty sure this was in the 4th grade. I was probably about 10 years old. And the question is, what video games was I playing at the time? That's a good question. I mean, what video games I was playing? Because back then, I know very well that Elden Ring wasn't even out yet. So when I was 9 or 10, this didn't even exist yet, or the PS4 didn't exist. Yeah, I got 2 copies because I love the game so much that I bought a second copy. I'm not joking. So yeah. So yeah, I did bought 2 copies of it because I love the game so much. I bought it because the DLC was announced, so I bought me a new copy. Whatever. So back then, the GameCube, the PS2, and the Xbox was only out. I'm like, back then, the 360 was fixing to come out, and it was already getting popular if you managed to get your hands on one. And back then, we didn't have to deal with DLC or expansions or like things you buy for money to add on to your video game at the time. Life was good back in the day. There wasn't no microtransactions. You bought a video game, you played it, and you got your money's worth. Back then, I was playing Final Fantasy VII for the PlayStation 1, and that was my first love in role playing games. That's how I got into playing RPGs. Yeah, when I was like 9 years old, I couldn't read back then. I had a very hard time in reading. I had speech impairments. Yeah, my dad pretty much had to play it along with me. Yeah, my dad was with me all the time when we played that game, and because I just needed him to help me read dialogue. But I'm not gonna lie, that game really did taught me how to read. It taught me. I was like, it taught me how to read. It helped me develop good reading comprehension skills. and probably would thank Final Fantasy VII. I won't be playing role playing games if it wasn't for Final Fantasy VII, which is, I have it on the Switch along with number 8. I had I had problems with reading. Um, my autism was a huge problem when I was growing up as a kid. I wasn't able to make any friends. I didn't have any friends. I had very little people to talk about video games with. Maybe like family members of close friends that my mom knew that had kids that went to different schools, and yeah, um, I got bullied a lot, but video games were just always there for me you know when I had my worst bad days when I was a kid. My most favorite game series of all time playing was Zelda. These are like the latest ones that are on the Switch. I love playing Zelda. That was that was like my Elden Ring when I was a kid. Like open world journey exploration adventures. Yeah, that was like kind of like my younger Elden Ring right there. Just Zelda. Um, I played the living hell out of those games, and I remember getting a Super Nintendo in the yard sale, and it came with Final Fantasy 3 for the Super Nintendo, which was obviously Final Fantasy 6. Which this was me playing Final Fantasy 3 for the Super Nintendo. And God, dude, that game had an excellent story mode. The game had an excellent story. It really made me feel different when I was like 10 years old. It was definitely a game that I never thought I'd play. And I was like, oh, so it was definitely my first Super Nintendo role playing game I played, and I loved it. And I'd probably say it's my favorite Final Fantasy Super Nintendo game. Yeah, Final Fantasy 4 was good. I definitely would say. So I played that, and I highly got into playing Castlevania. I became a really huge Castlevania fan. Like me, this is me. I was playing Castlevania at that age, at 9. Playing Castlevania Symphony of the Night for the PlayStation 1. That was my first taste of Castlevania games. I remember my dad was at a Goodwill, and he picked it up for me one day. I was at home with my brother. My dad came back from Goodwill with my mom. My brother and I was just hanging out, chilling, listening to music, heavy metal, rock music, whatever. And he came back with a copy of Castlevania Symphony of the Night from Goodwill for like, I don't know, he must have got it for like $5. And looked at the cover, I was like, wow, this is a very, very ugly title. And I look at the back of it, the art design looks cool, but man, this is like a very, cheesy cover. But man, all I can say was the voice acting was cheesy as hell for the PlayStation 1, which I did a Let's Play of the PS4 version that came out later years back on my channel. I have some stream videos of that. I played that version, and man, it blew me away. A game that came out in 1997, same year Final Fantasy VII did. It's like a year after I was born, that came out. Playing that blew me away. My dad said he remembered playing it, and he wanted me to try it out. So he got me that, and I think he got me that and a few toys, a few wrestling toys or Marvel comic toys, whatever toys that I had when I was a kid. I had a big, huge Lord of the Rings toy collection when I was a kid because I was a huge fan of Lord of the Rings at the time, growing up as a kid. Um, yeah, he showed me. I played Symphony of Night, and I really enjoyed that game. That game made me into a total Castlevania fan that day, and I spent a whole week playing it. I spent about 1 week playing it. I played it nonstop. It was the most played games I had since my dad bought it for me, and I got pretty addicted to it. My dad never, he wasn't going to tell me any secrets. He just wanted me to play it. So I was 9 years old. Yeah, we were playing Castlevania Symphony of the Night on the PlayStation 1 back in about 2005. Yeah, but those are the good old days, man. I kind of miss those days. Those were really good days, man. When 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 you just had dial up internet. You just had dial up internet, and you waited about like 5 minutes for a web page to pop. You waited for like 5 minutes for a web page to pop up, and boom, there's your game facts guide for whatever you're looking up. I was also a huge. I grew up enjoying playing Mega Man as well. So Mega Man became one of those other franchise games that I really loved playing as well. Mega Man was really good. I had a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun playing Mega Man. Um, my dad got me into playing Mega Man. He got me playing Mega Man 2 for the Nintendo. That was probably my first Mega Man that I beat and I loved. And he got me Mega Man 4. Then he got me the collection set for the PS2. Then he got me the Mega Man X collection. Those are very nostalgic times when I was a kid. Playing popular classic game franchises really blew me away as a kid. Game series that I got a hold of playing, the Final Fantasy series made me a huge Final Fantasy fan. The Zelda franchise, the Castlevania franchise, the Mega Man franchise, and playing really awesome classic retro games for Nintendo, Super Nintendo, the Nintendo 64, which I have all those on my PC. I have all those emulated on my PC, and I kept a history track of that. And later on, my taste in games have gotten into different territories of today that I really enjoyed, especially in my middle school, days. My days back in middle school, that'd be a different story though. But I did say that later on in my fourth grade years, I really gotten into playing the Devil May Cry series. I played all 3 games, and then of course I played Dynasty Warriors. I love the Dynasty Warrior franchise. Played number 3 on the PS2 when I was a kid. 4, 5, 3, 4, and 5 were totally peak Dynasty Warrior games for me until I played them again, which was 7. Oh man, yeah, the things back then were really good. I kind of miss my childhood. Like I kind of wish I was like I kind of wish I was like 10 years old again, just to relive my experiences with Final Fantasy 7, Final Fantasy 6, Castlevania Symphony Night, the Legend of Zelda games, and fighting games like Street Fighter 2. I became a huge Street Fighter 2 fanatic when I was a kid, and I played more of that than Mortal Kombat actually. So thank you for watching the video. If you like what you saw, please give me a big like and subscribe to be a part of the Samugi Nation and Edge for our Goon Trio. I will be streaming later today. This is Kota Kusan. Ichiban Samugi signing off.